Hey folks, welcome back to my channel, Designs by Dana. I'm Dana and I'm a close to my heart maker, and I'm still working through the 30-day sketchbook challenge by Chrissy's Beautiful Life, and I'm also incorporating this bingo challenge. Excuse me. This is a challenge that I created just for myself to have some fun. I wanted to also bring in the sketch before I do my bingo draw, because when I saw this sketch, I was really inspired by the fact that it is a colored sketch. So when I saw the colors incorporated, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with this, because I have some embellishments in these colors that I have not been able to use yet. So I have a very good visual idea of what I want to do with this sketch. So not sure that I'm going to incorporate my bingo draw, but I'm going to go ahead and draw and see what I get. And if I don't incorporate my draw, then I'm okay with that, but we're going to do it for fun and see what happens. So let's see what we get here. I got eyelets. So let's see if I can incorporate the eyelets, and if I do, great, and if I don't, I'll throw it back in the jar and we'll save them for another day. So I'm going to put that aside, and let's bring in my photos that I'm going to use. I am sticking with the 3 photos consistent with the sketch, and I have these photos of my ornery cat. This is a black kitty. Her name is Black Canary, named after the Batman comic book series. Although we often call her just Little Bird, short for Black Canary. So she's very ornery, and if you've watched many of my videos in the past, this is my co-star of my videos. So she loves to steal my foam tape and items off of my desk while I am scrapbooking. So I thought I would use these photos because they kind of capture some of her spirit. You can't tell in this one, but this is her watching me scrapbook. This bar right here is my photo stand that holds my iPhone while I'm video recording. So this is her watching me as I'm scrapbooking. And this is her sitting on a pretty high shelf, and I don't want to do too much TMI, but this is actually in my bathroom above my toilet. So she likes to climb way up here and sit up there. So she's just a real crazy ornery cat. So her other nickname is Crazy Cat. So let me get these out of the way, and I'm going to bring in all my supplies. We're going to have some fun with this one, and let's see where it takes us. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is pull in my piece of cardstock that I'm using as my base. Now, I went ahead and did a gut out on this because, as you can see from the sketch, most of this is going to get covered up. So I went ahead and cut that out just to preserve paper. And then I'm going to pull in what I call as my spray box, because I'm going to do a little bit of mixed media on this. So I was really hoping that I'd pull the mixed media item for my bingo card, but I didn't, and that's okay. But I do plan to try a little mixed media on this. But what I'm going to do now is add some black shimmer brush to the base of this white cardstock. So this is my shimmer brush. I'm kind of shaking it up. You can hear the little balls in there, mixing up the paint in there. And I got it kind of nice and juicy here. And I like to use my bone folder ruler, something nice and strong to kind of tap onto that. And for this, I want my splatters to be real thick and not real fine, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I want that nice black splatter to show up. So that's about what I'm looking for here. And hopefully you can see that on camera. I'll hold it up just a little bit so you can see some of those splatter looks. So let me get this out of the way and then give that just a quick second to dry, and then we'll come back and start assembling. Okay, I've got that shimmer brush dried, and I'm bringing in my base piece, and then I went ahead and did another gut out of this black cardstock, and I'm going to mat that Bluebird on top of it. I cut all of my strips of paper, and then I decided I'm going to go ahead and mat those as well in black, so everything has that pop of black. So my first strip is I'm sorry, it's not cranberry, it's candy apple red. The second one is nectarine, and then I have lemonade. This one is candy apple, I'm stuck on that candy apple green, and then grape. All of those pieces of paper are cut at 1 1/4 inch by 10 1/2, and then they're matted accordingly. You can make your mats as thick or as thin as you like. So now I'm just dry fitting that with my photos, and then we'll come back and put that together. So I've put those strips on the Bluebird, and I want to bring in my splatter box again, and I'm bringing in my white gloss spray, and I want to do some splatter dots, kind of going in an angle from the lower left to the upper right. I'm going to fidget around with different methods of splattering this. It doesn't really want to kind of splatter off of there very well, so I'm kind of having to hit that a little bit harder than I anticipated, but it seems to finally work out well. So once I get that done, I'm going to have to let it sit a couple minutes to give that gloss spray paint a little bit of time to dry. And the funny thing is, I stepped away and I come back, and the crazy cat that I'm scrapbooking here has walked into my spray box, and you can see she left her little footprints. So I'm not too worried about it. I think it's kind of comical that this is the layout she decided to put her footprint on, but most of that is getting covered up by the photos. So I'm bringing in some embellishments here, and these are from a special that Close to My Heart offered back in March during the Cardstock Carnival. And I'm just going to play around with these little hexagons, and I want them to kind of follow that flow again from the bottom left to the upper right part of the photo section. I'm going to fidget around with those, and then I'll get those glued down off camera. But they kind of flow with the colors, and there's a little bit of overlap, but they follow the color that they're coordinating with. And so I don't want to waste your time and mess around with all of that on camera. And I'll get those glued down and then come back and finish up. So I have all those glued down here. And for some final touches, I decided to bring in some more pop of black with these enamel dots. I haven't used my enamel dots in a while. I started to pull in my liquid pearls and decided to bring in the enamel dots, something a little different. So for the final touches, I decided to put some titling here. So on one side, I put her name of Black Canary, and on the other side, I put Little Bird. Okay, I've got my finished layout here. And this was a fun one. And although you didn't get to see the crazy cat on camera, she did make her presence known, and I was able to hide most of that, but you got some little spots here and there, which I'm okay with. I love all the color on this layout, and thanks to the creator, Kristen Foster, for this one, in inspiring me by putting the color on her sketch, which I don't know if I would have thought of that had she not put the color into the sketch. So here's a little close-up look of all my different colored embellishments down here, and you can see I did pop up some of them and then glued the rest down. Added a few little black dots to go with the flow of the hexagons as they kind of flow up through the page. And got my mixed media in there as well. Put the little titles on the side here, and I'm so happy with how colorful that turned out. Hope you liked it, and if so, please hit that like button and consider subscribing as well. Feel free to share, and keep coming back. I've got several more to get to through the end of the month, and I hope that I can get to all of them. The sketches this month are just amazing. So if you have questions, comments, please put them in the comment section below. I'll be sure to get back to them as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.